Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is very different from any video I've ever made, and that's why I am less overjoyed to be here, because seriously it has been the hardest to turn on this camera a second ago. It has been... I have to overcome this because I am sitting here not for myself. Today I'm coming to you for the first time in my almost 5 years on YouTube, asking for help and asking for support and asking for you to watch this video and to share this video and to make it public so we can actually get together and help. This is not for me, this is for the people in Ukraine, and also of course especially for my brother and my sister-in-law who are right now living and struggling in Ukraine. I have spoken about this topic already a couple of times in recent videos also, so most of you who are regular here on my channel know that my brother and my sister-in-law live there, and today I want to use this video to introduce their work to you so you can see what they have been doing in the last 20+ years before this war now, and also ever since the war started, because you know, people there need our help. It has to be more than words right now, and we cannot afford to look away anymore. Now we have to talk straight in this video, so I'm going to ask everybody who is not up for straight talk and who is here for beauty content to leave this video, because you can come back for the next one. That is completely fine. It is just that I need to be here with the people who can take it and who are there to stand up together with me, together with my household, and together with most people that I know. We need to not look away and we need to raise our voices, and this is the purpose of this video today. The other purpose that I want to really make sure, and it's kind of a disclaimer because I want to make sure that everybody understands that this video is not against the people, the civilians in Russia. This is not against Russia as a whole. This is not for inciting hatred against these people, okay? This is about the support for Ukraine, because the Ukraine has been attacked by an insane megalomaniac, Vladimir Putin, who will have to answer for his crimes at some point. Now, who can stop him? I don't know. I don't know, and I know that a lot of you have contacted me and said, I wish I could say something to you that comforts you or your family, but I don't have words. I know exactly how it feels, because also I don't have words. In a lot of ways, what can I say? I'm sitting here in my little studio. I still have my 7 children. I still have my life. I still have my job. I still have all the other things that are going on in my busy life anyway. But still, I'm going to now take this time, and I'm going to also dedicate my channel and my social media to a certain extent right now for this, for the first time in my journey here, okay? So I hope you will support this, because this is important. We do not have the luxury anymore to look away. When we look back in history, we see what it has done to people and how it has cost so many lives because people looked away, you know, because people pretended that they didn't know, or they said afterwards, sorry, didn't know, or the personal price that I would have had to pay was too big, because people in the Ukraine do not have this luxury. So we should also not have this luxury. We need to stand united, you know, and this is where it comes down to. We need to be united against the lies and the evilness of Vladimir Putin. Okay, this is what it is. Now, how much can we do? I don't know. But if everybody does a little bit, I do believe with my whole heart that miracles will come about and that things will change. Because Vladimir Putin cannot put millions of people into prison. You know, there is a limit to what even this evil spirit can do. So we need to get the message out there, and we need to help the people that are in the Ukraine. I know a lot of you are already doing this, because a lot of you have reached out to me to tell me that you have donated and all of these things. That is wonderful. God bless you for this. But now I'm going to introduce the work of my brother to you. That has, of course, the reason that he is my brother, and of course my sister-in-law is his wife, and that is of course very, very close to my heart, and it hits very, very close to home, but of course also because he is located in the central Ukraine. Now, all of these humanitarian aid transports that are now, for example, leaving from Germany, going through Poland to the Polish-Ukrainian border, that is amazing that they're doing that, and it does help. It actually really does help. But sweeties, the people in the center Ukraine have a hard time getting that stuff, you know, because there are sometimes corridors left open that are not being bombed, but it is very, very iffy because, as we all know from the news, and please, sweeties, watch the news, okay? I have to say something about that in a second. But sweeties, we know from the news that Vladimir Putin and his army is not really recognizing the agreements or staying true to the agreements. Maybe it lasts for half an hour, maybe it lasts for 2 hours, but then a bombing starts again. And what do you do if you're stuck in one of these safe corridors to get to a safe place or to get goods into the Ukraine, you know? So this purpose is not to collect donations in the sense of goods. It is because I want to raise money that will go straight to the work of my brother. All right, so that is that. I also want to say something about this regarding the news, because yesterday I just had a conversation with an acquaintance of mine, and I was like, my brother is in Ukraine and he is in mortal danger, seriously, and I need some support here right now. And she was like, you know, I cannot really watch the news. I can't take it, you know, and we do not have this luxury. I want to slap people like this left and right, because this is not the time to be faint of heart. We cannot afford this. We need to be strong. Do I feel like I want to watch the news 24/7? No, I want to surround myself with beauty. That's why I have a beauty channel, and that is where I see my purpose in life. This is my battle, you know? But still, if there's an emergency situation, we need to stand together, and we need to get our head out of the hole, and we need to look the evil in the face, because only like that we will know the truth, and only like that we can face it and we can act, and that is important. So, sweeties, that is what it is. Okay, now, while I'm introducing my brother's work to you, finally, after like 7 minutes of a video, I'm going to put some footage on top of me, okay? So you will see pictures of their work, of their property, of what they're doing there, while I'm talking a little bit, like in general terms, about what they have been doing in the last 20 plus years in Ukraine, all right? So I just want to point out that not all of the footage is current footage. I will show you later on footage that is from right now, working with the refugees and things like this, so that will be absolutely current, but there is going to be a lot of footage that is also potentially a couple of years old, but not a lot has changed. So I'm just going to put it in because I think the purpose of showing you what it looks like there and just to build a connection is more important than having pictures that are like a week old. So please take that into consideration, and let's go right into it. Alright, my friends, let me introduce my brother to you. His name is Achim and his wife's name is Gabriela. So I will call her Gabby because it is a little bit easier to say. Okay, so it's Achim and Gabby, and they are my family and I love them dearly. Okay, so he's my older brother. He is about 18 years older than I am. We as siblings, we are 5 siblings in our family. We have been spread over, I think, 20 years, I think. So I'm the youngest and he's the second oldest, and his wife. Okay, so they were both born and raised in Germany. They met there, they got married there. They had 4 daughters that are all now adult, and by now they also have already 6 grandsons. All right, so now let me go into this whole story. It all started in 1991 when there was a vision. There was a vision of a couple of people, including also one of them was my brother, who had the vision to create something towards the Ukraine, you know, to create something between Germany and Ukraine, to bring reconciliation, because there is so much animosity still and always has been in a way, especially though after the Second World War, that just needs healing. And this is what God placed on their hearts, and this is what they try to do. So in the beginning it started out with humanitarian aid transports. So they went with 2 super big trucks and several vans a couple times a year, bringing donations in goods, in food and in clothing and in all kinds of other things to the central Ukraine. So that is how it started, and this is how it went on for years and years years and years, from 1991 till 2002. In 2002, those transports stopped, but not because the help was supposed to stop, but it's just sometimes that a certain time has come to make a change and to upgrade in a way. So what did they do? They did build a house there. They purchased a property, they built up a house there, and they basically moved the organization, which is called Friends of Nehemiah. And in German, it is called, in case you're fluent in German, Nehemia-Freundeskreis. So they moved the whole thing there. Of course, it is also based in Germany, but the figureheads, which is Achim and Gabi, they moved there, and this is where they continued living ever since. Of course, they're coming a couple of times in the year to visit their kids and grandchildren in Germany, but this is where they live, in central Ukraine, and this is the village called Protopopivka. Alright, so this is how they live, and I'm going to again try to put some pictures on top. And this is now the place where I'm going to take my notes, because this is very, very hard for me to remember all of this. But in any case, you will see the pictures on top of me, so never mind me. Alright, sweeties, Nehemiah, the organization Friends of Nehemiah, it includes by now several houses, a farmhouse and several outhouses, a small factory and a mill, a bakery, a pasta production line, and an oil press. And they have 155 hectares of land to work on. So they are growing wheat and rye and barley, alfalfa, potatoes, sunflowers, and corn. And they also have about 50 pieces of cattle. 20 of them are milk cows, and then they have also about 150 chickens. All right, so what are they producing? They're producing bread and baked goods and butter, dairy products, and of course they're selling all of these things. It's not only for their own use. This is how they sustain themselves and how they can also provide help for others. They're also producing smoked meat and sausages and cold pressed oil and pasta. The proceeds of all of this are of course sustaining themselves, but also will be passed on to other people or organizations that need help, that are local. They're also employing 22 Ukrainians as of right now. Of course, also there is a fluctuation. So about 22 Ukrainians that are being trained in their work field, or just being helped out of difficult situations or things like this. So this is part of the purpose of Nehemiah. Now, what is the broader sense, the purpose of Nehemiah? So they want to provide support for other institutions and organizations locally to the Ukraine to lessen the poverty. That is a big, big deal, because now, even still now, especially on the country, the simple people are still poor and are still suffering and struggling. So they want to also give a life perspective to people in the Ukraine, because the Ukrainians have been living under Russian oppression, of course, for many, many decades, and they kind of needed to relearn how to live as a not oppressed people, you know, and a lot of damage has been done to their wills and to their spirit. And Nehemiah is just trying to bring some healing and also some structure, because a lot of people don't even get up in the morning. There's a lot of trouble also when it comes to alcoholism and things like this. And Nehemiah is reaching out and helping people, the simple people, off the ground. So they're living with them in the middle of it all, and they're working with them, and they're going with them through their daily struggles, through their alcohol detox, through their marital problems, through all of this. Okay, my brother and my sister-in-law, they are not sitting there on a golden throne. They are working with the people. They are working the fields. They are working in the stables. They're doing everything. All right, so this is part of the Nehemiah purpose. All right, then beyond that, of course, what I already said in the beginning, one of the purposes is also to bring reconciliation between Germans and Ukrainians, and also in particular the Jews, because of course in the Second World War a lot of tragedy has been happening, also of course to Ukrainian Jews, both from Ukrainians and also from Germans. So a lot of work has been done to bring reconciliation, because it is just so important, because nothing ever can grow on hatred and misunderstanding, nothing ever. So that is a basis that they needed to establish to make the ground ready for something new and good to grow. Other things they're doing is bringing just really handy help on the ground. So for example, they have been helping 2 schools and a kindergarten who are in the area to give them a regular water supply, because before Achim and Gabi got there, there was no regular water supply. There were no pipes going to the school and to the kindergarten. They had pumps, so they actually helped to build that, and also to put normal toilets into the schoolhouses and into the kindergarten, because also that was not there yet. These are circumstances that people like us cannot even imagine, but that was normal for the people there. It was a very, very simple life, and in a lot of ways it still is, and there's nothing wrong with simple life, but I think to work with your hands and to actually bring help in things that matter on the ground, that is just super, super important also in order to win people over, to gain their trust and to say to them and to show to them, we are with you all the way, and we are going to build toilets for you if this is what it takes to help you. Another aspect is that they're also bringing medical help to a certain extent. Now in the Ukraine, there is no real healthcare system in that sense, so it comes in very, very handy that my brother is a trained nurse, a registered nurse, so he can do some first aid when people come and have been hurt or things like this before they go to the hospital or whatever has to be done. So he can actually take care of a lot of things on his own. Okay, let us also not forget that there has been war essentially in Ukraine since 2014. A lot of people don't even realize that anymore because it has been so normal already that there is fighting going on between Russia and in the eastern Ukraine for so many years already. So this is the whole Donbas region where also, of course, now a lot of stuff has been happening. And in that connection, Gabby and Achim actually did go a couple times, I don't know exactly how many times, but often, to bring humanitarian aid to the people in eastern Ukraine. So they were basically taking from their own produce and from things that have been donated to take it to them, because these people there have been in war for so many years. So many lives have been lost, so many houses have been bombed, there has been so much destruction and all of that. And the world, unfortunately, has turned a blind eye to this to a certain extent because of thinking maybe in a way that we can sacrifice the Donbas. If this is all that Putin needs to be satisfied, then let's just do that. But sweeties, this is not it. If you give a crazy person like Putin the little finger, he will rip your arm out. And this is exactly what he's doing now. It is never good to feed into the crazy ideas of someone like this, of a dictator. It is not okay. So in any case, in a way, we're now all paying the price. But of course, especially the people in Ukraine, they're in this situation, are paying the price now for everybody looking away. And that is also what I said in the beginning. We do not have the luxury of looking away anymore. But back to the topic, I just wanted to say that also all those years since 2014, my brother and his wife have been bringing aid and support and encouragement to the people in the Donbas region. Now let us move on to war times. Now, of course, a couple of weeks ago by now, war has been kind of declared because Russia has attacked the Ukraine. The Ukraine has no fault in this. Let's just make this very, very clear. All the lies that Putin is spewing out are lies. And in today's world, we need to be very, very careful to see the truth and also to say the truth. It is so important. And I want to put something really, really important in, because especially on social media, we hear all the time, my truth is this, my truth is that. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. Either it is the truth or it is a lie. There is no half truth. There is no my truth. There is no your truth. There is only truth and lies. Okay, so let's face facts. There are lies and there is truth, and we should be able to still say that. If someone sits there and says, this is my truth, don't believe it. Don't believe it, because Putin can now sit in his Kremlin or wherever he sits right now, and he can say, my truth is that all the Ukrainians are Nazis. And it is a lie. It is an absolute lie, and we need to say it. It is a lie, and it needs to be fought. Now, why are my brother and his wife still in Ukraine? They are Germans, they're German citizens. They are, as far as I know, not Ukrainian citizens. They could have left. Now, actually, before this whole war started, they were already on the border between Ukraine and Poland because they actually wanted to just visit Germany because the grandchildren had a winter vacation, you know? So not because they wanted to leave because of the war, it was before the war, but they would have been in Germany when it all broke out, potentially. But they got turned back because on the borders, of course, everybody is being tested for COVID. And at that moment, my brother tested positive and they were sent back. And you know what? When I heard about this, I felt this is good. This is right, you know, because not everybody can run. And I didn't even know that this war would come. I knew that things are kind of building up to something bad. And also when all these negotiations happened, like right before it started, I didn't believe any of the BS that Putin was saying. I didn't believe any of this. I saw him, and if you look at him with the truth, with the God-given truth, and with eyes that can see and with ears that can hear, you will have seen that this guy is not real. It is not real, and you cannot negotiate with him. You cannot negotiate with dictators. You do not ever do that, you know? So that is what it is. In any case, they got turned back, and that is why they are now in Ukraine. Now, they still had the opportunity to leave after the fact, after he had basically been tested out of being positive. But at that point, they made the conscious decision that they are going to stay and that they are going to help and that they are going to be true to their calling, because this is what they have been sent there to do. And I am so, so grateful, because I know even with all the worry and all the fear that I have for their life and for their safety and for all of this around, I am glad to know that they are in the right place. They are where they're supposed to be. And that is a beautiful, beautiful knowledge that even if you're in danger, if you know that you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing, that is good and that is godly. And I'm so, so glad that I can be here and support them in this. So this is basically the story. Now we are coming to the wartime. They got attacked, and of course not their region is under attack yet, but it's getting closer because of course Putin and his army, they're kind of putting a loop around the whole center Ukraine and drawing it closer. So basically at some point everybody will be cut off from getting new supplies in and all of these things. Okay, so I hope that I was able, or that I'm able to put up a map. I hope I will be able to, but then you can see that they're really smack in the middle of Ukraine, 350 kilometers southeast of Kiev, which is of course the capital city. All right, so they're sitting there, and of course a lot of people are fleeing. All right, so now they have been starting to take in refugees. The thing is that when this whole thing started and refugees started to move, the city council or the village council said everybody has to report their empty beds so people can be spread to all these places. So because they have quite a big farm by now, they also have quite a few beds available or can make them available. So they basically have 20 beds where they can take people in. Now people have been coming. Some of them moved on the next day after, you know, having a good meal and taking a shower and sleeping one night and then moving on towards the west, towards Poland. But now lately, people actually have been staying because they say, where are we going to go? Where are we supposed to go? You know? So now, right now, when I'm filming this, they actually have 20 people there from the age ranging between, I think, 4 years and 83 years old. So this is what the situation is. And every day they're living together, they're cooking, they're trying to run still the farm, you know, within all of this. They also have to do a lot of trauma therapy, really, while they themselves are hurting, you know. My brother and his wife, they are giving us messages when there is internet. They're giving us messages every day on how they're doing. And sometimes they're crying and they're desperate, and they also don't know how to move on and how to give their best and how the next day will be, you know. But this is what heroes are, you know. This is how heroes look like. They cry and then they get up. and this is what they're doing every single day because they do not know what will happen in 2 hours from now. So this is an amazing, amazing thing that they are doing there. They're helping the people medically. They're trying to, give them some encouragement and help them as much as they can. What else have they been doing during this whole wartime now? They actually have opened their basement, their cellar, for a bomb shelter for people in the village, because most people, as I already told you, in this village live in very, very simple huts, really. Simple houses. Most of them don't even have a cellar and don't have a protected room to go to. Now, because Achim and Gabi built a house on their property, according to German standards, they do have a proper cellar, which is like, at least with brick walls. It is not a bomb shelter, but it is as good as it gets. So they said, we are opening our cellar, we are putting mattresses on the floor, we're putting supplies in. If there is an attack, people come, people run to us, we're open for you. So that is also one of the things that they are doing now. And while trying to do everything else, they are also still helping other people and other organizations. For example, let me give you this as an example. The other day, my brother got a phone call from Kiev, from a supermarket in Kiev, who said, can you please supply us with bread? Can you bake bread? I told you they are producing their own bread. They have their own bakery, and they're of course using their own wheat and whatever grains they have to produce their own bread. Now, the thing is, yes, my brother said, I can do another additional 1,000 loaves of bread per day, but I have no way to bring it to you. If you can somehow make it happen that you pick them up, we can do this. We can add another 1,000 loaves of bread every single day. They are now running their bakery 24/7 instead of the normal shift, and they are trying to give away as much as they possibly can for free. So this is also why they need help financially right now, because they're actually giving bread and milk and whatever they can away to the people for free, because the supermarkets are empty. There is almost no gas to be had at the gas stations. It is a very, very desperate situation, and they're doing what they can because they have the farm, they have the cattle, they have the milk cows, so they can still do more than other people can, but they also have their limitations, so we need to help them. We absolutely do. All right, my friends, I hope this could serve as a bit of an information, but also as a wake-up call to just see how people are actually struggling right now. Yes, there is no real war in the sense of bombing yet in the area where my brother and his wife live, but it might come there tomorrow. Who knows, But in any case, they're doing an amazing job of relief efforts. Right now, they're with what they can do, with what their hands can handle, and what they can afford. And that is amazing, because this is how you know that the help actually reaches the people that need it, And that, I think, is just so invaluable. It's amazing. And I'm so proud of them. It doesn't help them that I'm proud of them. But I think if all of us can stand together in prayer and also in actions, that could bring about a change, and that would be awesome. And this is what we need. We cannot look away. We need to take action, and we need to help the people who are crying out for help, and that is what we're here for. So this is what my video was for today. I sincerely hope that this was helpful, and it introduced just also a different side of me and of my family. Please, if you can, share this video, like this video, comment in the comment section, because like that it will of course rank higher on YouTube, because people need to see this video. All right, it is so important. There is no time to waste. We do not have this luxury. So that is what it is. I'm going to leave the PayPal address of my brother in the description box down below, and I hope that you will be able to send some financial aid to him. I'm so grateful. You know that I have never asked something like this before, and I am very, very uneasy doing it, but I know that I just cannot stay silent. I cannot. So that is what it is. Please check out the description box right below the video. If I'm really good, I also put the information somewhere on the screen for all of you who stand with us, for all of you who help and who pray. God's blessing on you. I'm so grateful to have you as a support system, and thank you so much for watching this. It really means the world to me, and may God give mercy and love and protection and victory to the people of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching.